Men of Reddit, what is a great sex tip you have to share with other men of Reddit? I agree with this, but I will also add more. Make out with the pussy. Make out with the clit. Don't just lick. Use your lips, your whole mouth. Be eager without being rough. A couple fingers applying pressure to the G-spot while licking their clit also works wonders. Listen to her sounds and use them as a guide for what's working. If something is working, keep doing it. Don't switch things up because you get bored. Don't switch things up because your jaw or tongue is tired. As long as she's enjoying it, you will keep doing the thing. The best way to ruin an orgasm is to stop doing something great too soon. But most of all, have fun. If you're not having fun, they will know and it will ruin it for them. The best orgasms need a person to feel relaxed and comfortable and safe with their partner. Even basic stuff. The positions porn stars use are for the camera, not for comfort. Just cause it looks hot doesn't mean it's comfortable for either of you. It's hard, but the best thing to do is to forget everything you've ever seen in porn the moment you're in bed with a girl. It's better to seem inexperienced than to come off as some porn hound that wants to try everything you've seen in porn. Also, what they don't like. Only thing worse than not properly pleasing someone is straight up killing the mood by doing something they don't like. I used to date a woman who had 2 big no-go rules, and that was it. Everything else was on the table, including on the table lol. The level of communication comes down to the individual and the circumstances. In my experience, a lot of Craigslist casual encounters were great because we both knew the only goal was mutual gratification. In those instances, I found most women were very forthright with their likes, dislikes. Anytime it was a romantic interest, there was a much higher chance of both of us kind of keeping the freak flag furled until we knew we wouldn't scare the other one off lol. And not all women like the same thing. You can master exactly what one loves and then find that your new GF hates some of the things the ex loved. You have to start over, but that's the fun part. Some women like very direct literal stimulation, while others jump 10 feet in the air because it's too much. Communication and observation are key. Just don't act like a clinician. Do you like this or this? What about here? It's not hot. Pay attention. There is nothing hotter than hearing a guy moan and groan. It's the best feeling, and it makes me sad when my partners are silent. I tell them to make noise, let it out. It turns me on as much as I turn them on when I do it. Though I have had one person, when he moaned he sounded like he was in pain and wincing. Stopped multiple times if he was okay. It was just how he sounded. But at the same time, just know this doesn't mean you need to find the right words to say. Sometimes just an says everything that needs to be said. In a way, it's a lot like singing. Often the words you use are far less important than how you make them sound. This is usually one of the problems with depicting sex in movies. Because if a viewer keys into the words more than the moment and the sound, yeah, it could sound stupid, but that's completely missing the point. When you're in that moment with someone that wants you, the connection means more than the words. If you have the right connection, you could be babbling like a fucking idiot and still make your partner come. Focus on that connection first. One of the most memorable sexual experiences I ever had was when my then BF stopped thrusting, looked at me awkwardly, and said I have to fart. He hadn't ever done so in front of me before, and I was way too into it to stop for something so minor. So I gave him a nod of approval, and he let it rip. Yeah, I could feel his dick vibrate inside of me from the fart. We just stared at each other and cracked up, to the point we couldn't continue. Great times. I'm 47, and the thing I wish I could tell my younger self is to slow down. Overall, each touch, let linger, and do so till your partner moans in your mouth as you kiss. Remix. Till that happens, there is a time for all things, even in sex. Be open and honest with your partner in all things. Oh yeah, married for 22 years, my 4 sons are all 18 plus, and my partner and I love each other more today than ever before. Edit. Holy crap. 2K upvotes lol. Do male Kegel exercises regularly. Edit. A part of male Kegel exercises for sexual pleasure is for a man to stand while stimulated and fully erect, lifting your unit like making it do a sit-up 100 times a day. This helps your stamina. Placing a wet washcloth over the tip helps more. Women like different things at different times. Pay close attention to their body language and vocal signals. I'm a woman, but I feel like this needs to be said. Please be vocal. You don't have to be super creative or explicit with dirty talk, but expressing your pleasure vocally makes a lot of us excited. Moan, growl, describe what you're doing, say what you want to do, say how it feels. You want to get your partner excited. It's as easy as expressing your own excitement. Edit. Wow, thanks for the awards. Guys, feedback is important. I hope you're all as responsive with your partners. I had a teacher once give me a piece of advice that has given me better results, and better sex, than anything else I have ever heard. Don't look for a no, look for a hell yes. As guys we often feel like we have to make moves, and we have to push forward. You don't. So often we're doing things like, well, I put my hand on her thigh and she didn't take it off or move away, so she must want to go forward, right? And sometimes you're in the clear, and other times she didn't react because she didn't know how to say number. So don't force anything. She'll let you know when she wants to kiss you. She'll let you know when she wants your hand down her pants. Maybe this date you won't get laid. And hey, maybe she'll wish you had instigated a little more. But you'll never get regret, or have sex with someone who's not comfortable with you and feel like crap after, if you just change what you're looking for. And no can be misconstrued, but a hell yes is impossible to miss, and if you wait for that, I guarantee you will have much, much better sex. All great advice. To add, it's kind of a toxic man lie that men are supposed to make things happen with women. Yes, pursuing a woman is sexy, but it's only sexy if she's responding to your advances. This requires men having their attention on, how is she responding to me, instead of attention in, when do we get to fuck? The distinction is subtle, and really is just a matter of having the right mindset. Unfortunately, there's too many horny, entitled dudes who don't have the mental and emotional discipline to grapple with this. I have an average penis. Despite that, possibly because of it, I don't seem to have much trouble giving some women an orgasm from PIV. The thing that seems consistent, while in missionary, I put my penis all the way in, grinding my pubic bone against her clit, and being all the way in simultaneously makes the ridge of my head rub just in front of her cervix, the anterior fornix. I then just move a bit back and forth, not big strokes. I think the clit grinding and rubbing of the fornix gives them great stimulation to orgasm. It doesn't work for every woman, but it seems to work for a decent number of them. I've had favorable results from a good percentage. I need clit stimulation or it just will not happen. But I second the average penis thing. Don't know what the hype is about giant dicks. They fucking hurt. Edit. Didn't expect this much attention on this comment. My house literally got struck by lightning after posting this in a pipe burst. Just finally laid down and had all of these responses lol. Thanks y'all. I started seeing way more partners come from penetration around the time I realized my fav position was when you modify missionary by folding her legs back towards her chest, knees towards chest, back of thighs and feet facing you, with her legs together, which tightens things up, changes the angle so you hit the G-spot more since she's sort of rolled back a bit, and lets you go deeper, not with her knees around her neck, shoulders, but with her legs completely together and her feet sort of in front of your face. Don't ask me why I started having girls in that position to begin with. Add in a thumb gently and slowly but consistently and evenly rubbing on the clit, and a lot of people who didn't realize they could come from penetration or very rarely do will end up doing so. Honestly, jackhammering is way less of a thing than young guys think compared to working the angle, working the clit while fucking her, and being consistent with strokes and clit stim even if it's slower pace. And if that doesn't work, my Vixen Maverick gets a lot of people their first penetration orgasm. D. Edit. Someone asked for a visual, NSFW. Scroll down cause there's 4 images. https://imgur.com/a/gk9giza. Notice that the feet, legs are touching and stay close together, not spread out. The body is rocked, rolled back so that the legs are not aimed up but actually the further back the legs are folded while still being comfortable for her. The deeper you are able to go, you probably will have to hold her at the ankles or feet with one hand to ease the muscle strain on her and keep her legs in that position while you touch her clit with the other. Or if you like feet like me, just have her put the soles of her feet pressed right up on your face. And finally, if you can raise and lower the height at which you are entering her from, for example spread your knees close or further apart, you can play with the angle you are hitting the G-spot with. Also with this position, since it's easy to access the clit with your dominant hand, if you need pauses to avoid coming before you want to, you just pause while at the deepest point of a stroke and keep rubbing the clit, and she won't mind your stamina pauses as much as if you weren't hitting the clit. And there's ways you can both get rest on. You're resting her feet against your chest and you're resting against her feet, legs, while your one hand keeps rubbing and you stay fully inserted. Some general advice. No piece of advice applies to all women. These are just guidelines that should be applicable to most folks. But communication is key, as I'll explain later. Hygiene goes without saying. Keep it clean. Keep your nails short. If you forgot this until the last moment, clip them and run the edges on your jeans to dull them a little. No one wants to get fingered by Scary Terry, bitch. Orgasms are not always required. Obviously they're great, but if either you or your partner doesn't finish after you've given it the good old college try, don't get down on yourself about it. Sex should be fun even before the orgasm. Put her pleasure above yours and she'll probably take care of you. Use protection. Yes, it feels better without it. But let me tell you what doesn't feel good. Child support payments, chlamydia, full-blown AIDS, or at least I assume they don't, because I've never experienced any of those things. Because I use protection. When used correctly, condoms are 98% effective at preventing pregnancy according to the knockout blurb Google gave me when I searched condom effectiveness. Look up a YouTube video if you're not sure if you are using them 100% correctly. And I don't care how strong you think your pullout game is. Entrusting a horny dude with the task of not ejaculating inside a woman that's saying "fuck me harder, baby," like your partners will be once you're done reading this guide, is dumber than sending a kid to the Jared Fogle summer camp. That was a real thing. Look it up, and get tested after each new partner, just in case. Can't be too careful. Don't masturbate with too tight a grip. They'll kill the sensitivity in your dick. Use a loose but firm grip and lubricate yourself. If you've already been doing this, switch to the aforementioned technique, no exceptions. If you find that doesn't get you off, well, too bad. You don't get to finish until you can finish like that, because otherwise you'll be in the unenviable position of not being able to finish while fucking, and then she'll get self-conscious. You'll be embarrassed. It'll be awful. Beware the death grip. After you finish, it's even more important for women, but it goes a long way toward preventing urinary tract infections. Make some noise. Probably. Most women tend to like it when you're vocal. Don't go overboard. Grunting like a warthog, like a lot of porn stars seem to do, is probably too much. But let her know you're enjoying yourself. Tell her how good her hand/mouth/pussy/ass feels, how much you love her tits/ass/legs/pussy, etc. Unless she's not into dirty talk, which is fine too. Don't be embarrassed. Not getting it up happens. Shooting your load too soon happens. Farts, queefs, armpit fart noises because your skin was suctioned to hers, it happens. Get used to it. Laugh about it. Enjoy yourself. Okay. 1. Communication. This is super important. The most important. It turns out that it's much easier to do stuff she likes when you know what it is because she told you. You can work it into talking dirty. 2. If you try a particular rhythm and she reacts positively, ask her if she likes that, as suggestively as you feel comfortable with. If she says harder, go harder. But if she says don't stop or right there, keep doing exactly what you're doing. Same angle, pace, intensity, whatever. Conversely, If she's doing something that doesn't work for you, gently tell her so. It's better to correct that kind of thing early than reinforce something that doesn't do it for you. This is why faking orgasms is bad, and if they do something you love, make sure to let them know that too. If there's an opportunity to tactfully and respectfully ask some questions beforehand, do that. Is she into dirty talk, spanking, hair pulling? Does she like her breasts, nipples played with? These are all things that a lot of people do like, but some people find distasteful, and you shouldn't spring them on someone without asking first. Communicate before, during, and after sex. Can't stress this enough. 2. Foreplay. Guys, by and large, are simple. If a sexual partner touches me on the penis with some lubrication, I'm happy. It feels good. Easy as that. Women are generally more complicated. Even if you've got lube on your dick, you can't just go shoving it in there, unless she specifically asks for that, in which case she's probably got the lubrication covered, so go for it. Without a bit of prep, set the oven preheating before you put the meat in. This can start long before the bedroom. Sexting, talking dirty, the occasional touch or smack on the ass, depending on what she's comfortable with, throughout the day are things that can start her motor running long before you get in the car. Not my finest metaphor, but let's move on. Once you're about to get down, put your hands on her, tell her how sexy she is and how much she turns you on, how badly you want her. A lot of kissing is good, on the mouth, neck, breasts, stomach. See the direction I'm moving here? 3. Oral sex. Get good at this. Learn to love it if you don't already. The statistic I last heard was that only 25% of women can orgasm from penetration, so better to take care of it sooner than later. Not that this should be treated as a box to be checked off. Enjoy the journey, and it's that much more likely that she'll reach the destination. As for technique, don't neglect the clit. That's the little nub at the top of the vagina. It may be shrouded by the clitoral hood. You may want to gently pull it back, but extremely gently if at all. This may not be pleasurable for some women. It has nerves too, be careful, and it's the thing that would have become the penis if she'd have turned out to be a guy in the womb. So keep that in mind. Do you want someone mashing your dick around like they're a professional Smash Brothers player and its final destination? Fox only, no items, hell number. So be gentle with it. Caress it, massage it. If she tells you to go a little harder, err on the side of caution. Genital pain is a turn-off for the majority of people, so just be cool, okay? Don't neglect not the clit. Remember the thing you're trying to get your wang wet with, the hole that's your goal. Give that a little love too. Lick it from top to bottom once in a while. Get a finger in there and curl it toward yourself in a beckoning motion, like you're requesting that her orgasm come hither. If you feel a spot that's rougher in texture than the rest, make that your focus. That's the G-spot, and guy's equivalent is the prostrate, which is a major pleasure center. Again, pay attention to the lady. If she likes something, do it more. If she doesn't, try something else. Enjoy yourself and enjoy her body. Your free hands, or just hand, if you've boarded the SS Finger Bang Ferry, should be roaming around her body, playing with her nipples if she's into that, just exploring her. If your jaw or tongue are getting sore, tag in your fingers and kiss the inside of her thighs, her stomach, etc. 4. Penetration. It's time for the train to enter the proverbial tunnel. Maybe your partner just had an earth-shattering orgasm from your twisting tongue technique, or maybe she pulls you up off your knees because she needs cock inside her right that second, or maybe neither of those things happened. Whatever. Point is, she wants your penis in her vagina. If she isn't sufficiently wet, put some lube on your tube. If you're unsure of positioning, which is okay, let her guide you in. It's probably going to feel pretty good. If it feels so good that you finish right away, don't panic. Come clean, no pun intended, and maybe go back to eating her out or fingering. That usually more than makes up for it if you know what you're doing, which by now I have done all in my power to ensure that you do. Do Kegels every day if that's a common problem for you. Masturbate an hour or two before sex, whatever it takes. If you have the opposite problem, don't worry too much. It might just be a temporary mental block, and if not they've got little blue pills for that. Anyway, throughout the fucking, keep kissing her, touching her, etc. Get your hand down to her clit if it's not too sensitive, which you will know by asking her. Try a few different positions. Have some fun. Starting off with long, slow thrusts and then crescendoing isn't a bad idea, but different strokes for different folks. Pun intended. The reason you want to get her off first is because if she's among the 75% that doesn't orgasm from penetration, you've at least done your best to see to her first and now you can have your fun. If you're using a condom, which you should be, finish wherever. Ask before you finish on her ass/back/breast/face. Contrary to what porn would have you believe, sex does not have to end with a facial. After you've finished. 5. Aftercare. Cuddles. Most people love them, I find. Spoon that lady. She just let you put your dong all up in her biz. The least you could do is give her a little affection afterward. If it's uncomfortably hot and sweaty, feel free to take a second to cool down a bit before you do this. Maybe take a pee break. Uties are a drag, or so I hear. If you had fun, tell her so. Maybe don't ask if she finished. It can kind of come off as insecure, or like you're looking for some sort of macho validation, which I guess is also just insecurity. Just snuggle up, play with her hair, maybe kiss her neck just a bit. Unless this isn't that kind of sex, that might come off a bit clingy if this is just some girl from the club. Did I mention that not all advice applies to all people? Anyway, I hope that's enough to get you started. If you have questions about anything specific, fire away. I like talking about sex. Good luck and have fun.